right, hello my friends, welcome. We're going to get into some motion design pre-production here today, and I'm very excited because it's the lead into my favorite medium so far, motion design. And so we have to figure out what we're going to do. So let's get into what the sort of big picture ideas that we have going on. Okay, so first and foremost, design brief. Now, I have some excellent resources for you over in my Milanotes that I'll be sharing with you up on our Blackboard. But I wanted to show this one first of all from Killer Visual Strategies, and just going from this huge big picture, so scripting, scene direction, storyboarding, artwork, voiceover, animation, custom score, sound design, and then actually animating. Okay, for the most part, I'm going to be guiding you toward having doing more of a kinetic type motion design, because it's an excellent introduction, because we have our voiceover already. If it's most likely going to be branded, therefore, right? Whether it's a public service announcement, or it's some kind of lyric video, or it's just a straight up advertisement, whatever it is. So that is our big picture, and I'll be drawing from this motion, or this Milanote board, in great detail as we go. All right, so let's jump in. So project management, yeah, we really need to figure out what's happening, put everything down on paper. Now, thankfully, these days we don't need to do that. So I'm going to go jump into Milanote and just show you some examples. So again, this is Milanote. When you're going to be doing it for the first time, you're going to go and pull out a board, wherever that board is, and you call it brief or whatever, and then if you double click it, what you'll get are some templates in Milanote. So you can go straight up to creative brief, or go to more templates, and then you can go scrolling down over to motion design, and then maybe a motion design project, brainstorming, design brief, whatever you want. Even if you check out this, really great ideas, and you can keep the content or keep the template, and it just sort of lays it out for you, takes the mystery away. Okay, and of course it's also excellent for sharing. All right, so you can just go and enable a read-only link, copy that, or go and invite your team to be able to edit it over there. So excellent work, or excellent resources here. Templates, amazing stuff. And then some bigger picture concepts. I really do recommend you watch this sort of big picture, overview of the writing process. Really quite interesting. Evan Abrams is a great tutorialist, teacher, and so I highly recommend it. All right, so let's keep going. I'm going to make this as quick as we can. Let's go. So I threw this in here because I want you to think about when you're creating a story. Helen Lupton, the amazing graphic designer, talks about design as storytelling, and actually talks about this 3-act structure thing. People really like to be told what they're about to be told. They like being told what they're being told, and they like being told, or like to be told, what they just were told. Intro, body, conclusion. Okay, folks, it's that simple. Now, for some of you, I want to push you a little bit, and talk about Bruce Bloch's amazing book called The Visual Story, where he breaks down how a narrative goes, and or how it starts and ends, and how you can map those elements out. So map out the rhythm, the color. Does it stay the same? are the story space similars? Does the rhythm contrast? All this kind of amazing stuff. And so yeah, I will be pushing that for those of you who are interested in really taking your stuff to the next level. All right, big picture concepts here. So when we're doing something with in a project like this, I really do recommend, if you're doing a motion design project, have some kind of entrance, some kind of beginning. So you start with one slight change in the style, and then maybe you end with that same style. Okay, same beginning and end. People will therefore feel, okay, the story is over, and they can sit with it and process it. All right, highly recommend it. All right, let's keep going. So the beat sheet, this is an interesting concept where you're kind of talking about the visual script, the visual story. So if we go back here, I'm going to skip over that beat sheet. And some amazing templates as well from Studio Binder, great articles from No Film School. And yeah, Save the Cat is one of those big ones. And so the beat sheet is kind of like big picture, or the narrative arc. Instead of a 3-act structure, it's like what parts of the project move the story forward. Okay, so this is an example of one. So I've pulled out a new mood board or board, and then looked up beat sheet. If you hit Z, you can see. So basically, what happens is it allows you to take your story from writing and pure concept, and then start putting it into phases, and then bringing in visuals, and it actually really works well getting into the next stage, which is the storyboards. Okay, but let's backtrack slightly. It's kind of, you're doing all of these things at the same time, but the mood board, if you don't know or if you haven't created one previously, mood boards are critical. Okay, they really just do allow you to iterate and ideate. Okay, now Milanote, again, fantastic for this. You can make new boards. This is one of the examples. What I really like is you can pull out a note and then just paste in a hex code and like create, put your color scheme up there. And some resources here for you. Design inspirations, again, Milanote, step-by-step how to make one. I'm a big fan. Well, this thing here, PureRef, is just a way to collect information. You can just put it up on your desktop and copy-paste things to it, or drag-drop, which is really cool. And this thing I found absolutely fantastic, this same energy idea. So, so what it is, you can upload your own picture, or say I find something that's inspiring, like this. Excuse me, I click on it, and then I get all kinds of options from all over the web that look very similar. So really, really quickly, easily able to build up mood boards and get some thoughts on that. All right, and of course we're doing motion design and kinetic typography, so fonts are absolutely critical in this case. Okay, I promote Adobe fonts as much as possible. It's absolutely incredible, but this one's interesting, just seeing what's out there and what people are using. And then as far as color, going back to color for mood boards, my go-to is Color Hex, just because it's super easy. You click on it and immediately just paste in a hex code that you have, say from a client or that one you like. Then you can see, so like, hey, I like this one. So you'll get as much information as you'll ever need, but then tints and shades, and then some analogous triadic complementaries really quick and easy solutions for you. Okay. So mood boards are absolutely critical, and I will definitely be looking for that from you in your pre-production work. All right. So let's keep going here. Style frames. So style frame, imagine you literally just pause your final video and that is a style frame, okay? So you're giving a client a snapshot of what it's going to look like, okay? There's no animation. It's just a composite of some kind, whether it's from Illustrator, Photoshop, maybe you've done it in After Effects, okay? So yeah, again, style frames in here. I really recommend this video. It's really cool. Eva Weinberg talking about, and this is pre-pandemic, talking about working from home and how she takes a walk around the block and then comes back in and gets set and works. Really, really amazing. This one here is Ben Marriott, who's actually talking about designing them yourself. And then, yeah, just from sort of big picture concept, this Design for Motion book by Austin Shaw. Can't recommend it enough. Absolutely fantastic. Again, big picture concepts. Okay. And then what I really recommend is this this one, Storytelling for Designers, where she talks about color, typography, composition, and laying it all out and getting and even style, specifically style, and what kind of style you might want to get. These are some great examples by Peter Crandall, who's just got an amazing portfolio. But I wanted to bring it, sort of, look at it, because for the most part, you'll be, for a professional work, you'll be creating something more in the lines of 3, 4, 5 style frames at least, like you can see here. And really, you should just be able to see immediately that all of these are from the same production, right? We have the same elements. It's kind of starts to maybe look like storyboards, but I'll get into how storyboards and style frames kind of end up mixing together. But yeah, basically just snapshots of what the production will look like. All right, style frames in Motionographer, excellent. I mean, the whole site is incredible, but yeah, just some more inspiration for you. And yeah, some more just sort of big picture concepts. This guy, this sort of Stylecraft thing, course from Motion Science is really good as well. Okay, so have a look around and be inspired. Okay, and let's keep going. Whoop. So the next thing we need to do when we've got the style frame, or before, it depends on your own workflow, are storyboards. So a visual representation of each scene. You need to make sure that the flow and the rhythm and the composition are all laid out. Now, for some of you, I'm making you do it in pencil. I absolutely do recommend that. However, there are various levels of work, of quality of storyboards. I recommend to thumbnail it out and then take it into Photoshop, Illustrator, or After Effects and grow it from there. Okay. Now, again, really excellent resources here on specifically from Milanote. Now, I believe this one here, this is Evan Abrams talking about Milanote and how he uses it. And then I think this one here again, Ben Marriott talking about the exact same thing. And then a few other sort of big picture concepts. Okay. This is Eva. No, not Eva. I'll let you find out. Where it's she's talking about Angie, not Eva. Talking about how to like what kinds of things you can get into. And what it might look like for that. It's absolutely gorgeous, and she's an amazing teacher, so I highly recommend those. All right, so lots of resources for you on storyboards. I'm going to leave the details to you and me during class on what I'm looking for. But yeah, we're basically just having at least one picture per scene. I suggest 3, so each scene can have an intro, a storyboard of something coming in, a storyboard of just, once we see everything and it's there, and then how it animates out. And that way you can actually start thinking about transitions and how you move from scene to scene, whether it is in a more film and television look, or you're using kind of eye tracing and red thread ideas, which I'll get into, to weave your story through in one continuous event kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, storyboards, absolutely critical to the process. And then what we need to do is take those storyboards and turn them into animatics. So really just straight up taking those thumbnails or those nice sort of style frame storyboards, elements that you've created or assembled, and putting them on a video timeline. And in our case, we'll have an audio file, so you'll be starting to put those together, those elements together. Okay. And you can add arrows, you can add text. Some people have, what they'll do is, like, even in something like this, they might have this will be the scene, but then they'll have this much as the actual action. So your person's here, and then down in here there's writing, so descriptions of how things are going to come in, go out, change, be affected, turn into something else, that kind of stuff. So there's all kinds of ways to build these out from your storyboards. But yeah, it's kind of an evolving process, right? It's not really ever going to be one thing that you do and then put away and then start another. Okay. Where do we go? So now that we have all of that, now you're ready to start with your animation. So what I've put together for you, you can see right here, is a kinetic type pre-production demo. So I'll be sharing these links with you as well. And if we go and jump in here, you'll see what I've done is created another YouTube tutorial. And what I've done is basically broken down all the elements that you would, all the workflow from the first minute that you get your audio file, and then bringing it in and setting it up in After Effects. Okay, so you're going to follow this checklist. You're going to follow this tutorial, and you'll see here, this is the audio, the example of what I've created.
Vancouver, it's Seth, and here's a tip to make your transit ride even more awesome. I love music just as much as you do, but to be honest, I'm probably not a fan of your music. So please turn it down. You're killing us here. And you're damaging your own hearing. Nobody is winning in this situation.
All right,
Hey,
so that was from Vancouver, and so what I did was type this out, okay? And when I typed it out, I actually changed it. I predicted that these would be specific scenes, okay? And therefore different illustrations that I'll end up using. So I take that and I bring it all into After Effects and I create this.
Hey Vancouver, it's Seth, and here's a tip to make your transit ride even more awesome. I love music just as much as you do, but to be honest, I'm probably not a fan of your music. So please.
Okay, so you can see it just really basic scenes, okay, and then I've added some TTC noises, and you'll notice that that is our first setup, okay, and now we're ready for storyboard style frames and all the rest. And then I go in and I finish it up, so you can have a look through the workflow process. So I'll go in here. We have about the project, all the little bits and pieces where I got the illustrations from, technical stuff, references, some interesting stuff. I think that was the Globe and Mail. Brand assets. So what I used was elements from Vancouver's transit system, okay, TransLink, and TransLink's font. And then created a mood board. I was going for multicultural with, big sort of happy looking, friendly looking illustrated bodies. Even though Seth is saying something, like, hey man, smarten up. I wanted it to be at least a little bit happy. And then in here, storyboard style frames and animatics. So these are my style frames. Okay, so what I envisioned was these little circles coming, traveling along the subway and then coming up to us and then fading back in. You'll see these are my sort of storyboards, and you'll see I didn't go the sketch route. I wanted to go straight to some illustrated elements. And then I have all of my downloaded elements that I ended up using there. And so this is my animatic right here.
Seth Rogen here to help guide you to a pleasurable public transit experience. I love music just as much as you do, but to be honest, I'm probably not a fan of your music. So please turn it down. You're killing us here. And you're damaging your own hearing. Nobody is winning in this situation.
Okay, so it's basically a flip book, right? There's no animation, zero animation in an animatic, okay? So you're taking those storyboards or style frames, putting them on a timeline, and it's done, okay? And then this is the final project.
Hey TTC customers, Seth Rogen here, and here's a tip to make your transit ride even more awesome. I love music just as much as you do, but to be honest, I'm probably not a fan of your music. So please turn it down. You're killing us here. And you're damaging your own hearing. Nobody is winning in this situation.
So you can see I go for a bit of life.
Hey TTC customers, Seth Rogen here.
A little bit of, all the elements are moving just a little bit. They all animate in and have a little bit of life. The type, just going for a more kind of a look of, a PSA kind of thing, something that can easily be seen on transit or ignored or just watched. So that was the thing. If there was no sound, you could still get some information out of that. All right. So there you go. That's the example project that I created, and then just again more articles to help you out. Okay, Milanote straight up. How to so we want to sign up, but yeah, you can go see how people use Milanote, and this is one of those elements. Okay, and so this it basically follows what I've created, and what Milanote had done is had put all of these videos in with it. So yeah, you can just go have a look at every single one that Evan Abrams did for Milanote, and just sort of expanding on what I've presented. Okay, and then of course School of Motion has some great stuff. The checklist is a really good one too. Killer Visual Strategies doing some great stuff. I think that's probably the same one. And then I just wanted to throw this one in from Imoni LaRussa, who talks about a music video that she did with many animators and illustrators and how it all came together. Some really cool insider information there. All right, my friends, so there you go. That is my big introduction to your first step for your motion design, your pre-production work, all right? So I look forward to helping you bring it out and make something fun and entertaining and persuasive and awesome. All right, so we'll see you in class, folks. Cheers.